Welcome to another episode of After the Credits. I am your host, Marina, and joining me once again today is Dale, videographer extraordinaire. He's behind the camera capturing the moment. And we're actually here at the 319, which is one of Vancouver's poshiest theaters, I think. And we're actually at a First Weekend Club event, and we're going to be seeing Stone of Destiny. So I'm here with Charles Martin Smith, the director of Stone of Destiny. Stiles, how did you come up with the idea for this movie?
It was actually a friend of mine that had found the book. It's a true story, this crazy heist that actually happened in Scotland in 1950. And the guy who was the ringleader of this bunch of university students turned criminal. He wrote a book about it. And so this friend of mine had actually found the book, which had been out of print, and thought it would make a great movie, showed it to me. I agreed, started writing a screenplay, and the rest is history.
So how long did it take you to make the film?
Well, I started writing the script about 8 or 9 years ago, kind of working on it in my spare time. And then we actually really started gearing up seriously about 3 years ago. Shot the film last year in Glasgow, where it all really happened, and in London, where it all really happened. We actually shot in Westminster Abbey, where it really happened. And we're the first film to have been allowed into Westminster Abbey in 40 years. Oh. So it was a real honor, yeah.
Now, is the film funded by the Canadian government, like through the different funds that are available to filmmakers?
Well, there's a lot of different sources of funding for our financing. Telefilm Canada was very, very helpful. They're so supportive and great. And a number of other entities, including in the UK, Scottish Screen, and some private investment. But we are actually a Canada-UK co-production, so it was financed both in Canada and in the UK.
And how hard was the process of trying to get funding? You hear a lot about Canadian filmmakers having difficulty funding their films.
You know, it's difficult for anybody to get films funded anywhere in the world. I'm sure they have trouble. You know, you name the country, and it's hard. It's hard to get films funded. But the producers here, Rob Merrill's produced the last film that I did, The Snow Walker, and he produced this as well. And he's just really good at putting that financing together. So I leave that to him. That's our partnership. Rob does that, and
you're the creative entity.
I like to think so.
Excellent. Can you talk a little bit about the experience of, filming in Glasgow? Now, is this the first film that you filmed outside of Canada?
Let me think. I mean, as a director, no, I've worked all over the world. Okay. I've worked all over the world, and I quite like it. But Glasgow was so important. It's such a Scottish story, the story of these kids going down to Westminster Abbey to take back this ancient relic that really is symbolic of Scottish nationhood, a real patriotic gesture, even though it was kind of a crazy, screwed up, plan, almost like a college prank, but it turned into being a huge deal in Scotland. So for me, the thrill was to be able to shoot where it actually happened. Glasgow University, in the very rooms where they made their plot and where their plans were made, to film on the very streets that that these guys inhabited. For me, it was just a real thrill, and I kept meeting people all over Glasgow that knew the conspirators and knew what had happened, and people that remembered that and would come up to me with tears in their eyes, saying, I remember when this happened. That's great. It was brilliant.
Excellent. And how about all of your actors? How did you find them?
Different ways, really. Charlie Cox, who's our lead, a wonderful young actor from London. And I had seen him in a couple of films, including Stardust, the big fantasy film that was out. He was the lead in that. He played Tristan. And he's wonderful. He's considered one of the best young sort of up-and-coming actors, I think, in the world. Kate Mara, who plays the female lead, is actually American. But I knew her work from Brokeback Mountain and from Shooter with Mark Wahlberg and We Are Marshall. And she is also considered one of that crop of really brilliant young actors in the world. Robert Carlyle, of course, the Scottish actor, everybody knows him, and he's terrific. Billy Boyd, I knew from the Lord of the Rings films, like so many people do know Billy. He's a Scot. Actually, the rest of the cast is all Scots. And it was a real Peter Mullen. I don't know if you know him. He's a wonderful actor. We had a casting person working with us, and, we put the offers out, and we met people and did some open auditions and found a wonderful cast.
Excellent. So the film is currently playing a number of film festivals, correct?
Yes, it is. We were actually the closing night gala at Toronto Film Festival, which was a huge honor for us. We were the center point gala at the Edinburgh Film Festival, which was hosted by Sean Connery, Sir Sean, and Tilda Swinton, and that was a wonderful night. We had half of the Scottish Parliament there, including their First Minister, and they were all very enthusiastic. We've played at the Hampton Film Festival just recently. We've opened in theaters across Scotland. As of about 2 weeks ago, and we'll be opening in theaters across Canada in February.
Excellent. And are there plans to also release the film in the U.S.?
You know what? We're talking about that right now. I think there are negotiations going on.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time. Good luck with the film.
Thanks so much. Thank you. Appreciate it. Glad you're here.
Oh, glad that you could join us.
My pleasure.
Enjoy the evening.
Thanks, you too.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of After the Credits. Be sure to come on by Row 3 for all your movie news and reviews. And until next time, we'll see you after the credits.